AfterBuzz TV, starting place to the likes of WWE female superstars Kathy Kelly, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega proudly presents Women's Wrestling Weekly, the world's first podcast and YouTube series dedicated exclusively to women's wrestling, featuring all the latest news as well as interviews with top superstars in the industry. And now, AfterBuzz TV's own gorgeous lady of wrestling, TK Trinidad.
Women's Wrestling Weekly, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, aka the Canadian Assassin, and I am not alone. I am so thankful for my co-host. So you can see him on his couch daily, practicing daily Melina's walkout. Please welcome Bryant Santos.
Hello, doing some splits on my couch and doing other things in quarantine. So yeah. Hi.
Other things. We'll move on. And you can catch her in the valley. She is the farmer's daughter. Please welcome Emily May.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. And we do Story of the Week, we do news, we do all that great stuff. We have amazing guests, and today is no exception. She is the first Latina executive producer and the first female commentator, Spanish female commentator. Please welcome Salina de Renta.
Hi, hey, everyone. Hope you're doing good. Staying safe.
Yeah, we're doing as best as we can given everything that's going on.
Yeah.
So kind of get into it. So you're signed with MLW, but you're also with a lot of different regions. Kind of what got you into wrestling?
I would say my story is a little different because I didn't grow up watching any wrestling, and I only came across wrestling when I was 19. So I moved to Florida so I could study film, and one of my film assignments was to study reality TV. And I came across Total Divas, and like I have heard of wrestling before, and we all know Lucha Libre. Like I know what it was, but
Right.
I had never really seen hot women doing it. And that was the first time that it popped into my head, and I was like, wait, they are making a living out of that. I look like that. I want to do that. And that was the first thought. And I was like, Mom, I feel like I should do this. And my mom was the one that's like, well, if you really feel like you should try it, might as well. And I did. And at first it was like a little hard because everybody like coming in, hey guys, I watch Total Divas. I want to be a wrestler. They all looked at me like, you are a psychopath. And eventually they grew to love me, and it all turned fine. But that was my story.
So tell us how, so you went from Total Divas to the wrestling and everything like that. The executive producer, that's like, you're not 40 or 50 years old. Like you've done a lot in a few years. How did you get to that point?
Well, first thing, I'm grateful for it, the opportunities that I've gotten. And it really like wasn't part of my plan in wrestling whatsoever. Like I've always had a passion for writing. And ever since like I was in 8th grade, I was writing plays, and it was like a talent I had. And I just thought it was like a normal kid thing. And everybody's like, no, that's really good. That's really good. So when I first got a chance to work with TV, I started writing my own pitches, and I was like, well, maybe we could do this. How about we do that? And I wrote like different scenarios and maybe we could do on TV. And I brought them to Court Bauer, who is the CEO of MLW. And he would like look at it and not say anything. He was just like, okay. Then the next time I would be like, hey, I wrote this too. Interesting. And then one day he goes like, Salina, how would you like to be executive producer of an episode of MLW? And I was like, wait, from what? How did that happen? And he's like, no, I just think like you have really good ideas, and I would like to see what would you do if you were in charge. And I started writing down like how I would do the show. And then at the very end, he was like, we're going to go with that. We're doing it. And that's when like the first opportunity for me to even like produce anything came up. And it was definitely, I would say like that established my career. Like it put me on the spot. So I'm extremely grateful that's what happened.
That's amazing. That's amazing. We've had a lot of conversations with other wrestlers that have produced and that are, that help behind the scenes, not just in the ring. How is that being a female in the business and going and pitching and running that whole type of production?
Quite frankly, at first, I don't think I believed in myself as much as everybody else did. So I would say like I got to learn a lot from me. Like I've had a lot of talents and I'm like, no, it's never good enough. It's never good enough. It's never good enough. But seeing how other people react to the stuff I do, it really like made me grow and feel like this is what it's meant to be. And let me repeat your question again. So I guess
So
that
how
was
is it? No, that's fine. How is it being a female in the production process, in the room, and leading that, being so young and just like being, first at it? Was that process like? And did you come across any like negative feedback or?
Okay. Well, I would say that to me is a great feeling because I when I watched Total Divas, since this is the show that got me inspired into this, I was looking at Nikki Bella and Brie Bella, and to me they were an inspiration. I was like, whoa, Latina power, let's do it. And now I feel like I am the one that is making little girls want to be like me, and I've seen it. I've seen little girls like draw banners, and even though I'm supposed to be a bad guy, like my heart just melts a little every time I see somebody like, oh, I want to be like you when I grow up. And it is such a great feeling to even help anybody in any way, like molding a child basically. Like it's just like giving, I don't know, like living my dream. It just inspires other people to do more, and just good vibes, man. It just feels good.
I want to know, like, real quick, TK mentioned that you're very young, and you also mentioned that you started just at 19. So it's only been a couple of years. I know you're 23. I'm also 23, which is so crazy. But in that last 4 years, you've done so much already, So how has it been like just kind of like rushing through all those things? Or not rushing, but getting all those accomplishments in such a short amount of time?
I feel like I've lived a lot in a very small amount of time. It's like rushing my life in a way, but seeing what I could, like 5 years ago, you would have asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I would say, oh, I see myself getting a TV job in 5 years. It's no, not really like where I'm at today. Like, it's just, I can't even like look at the future and say, oh, I expect this to happen when I'm 27 or 30, because I feel like if I just dream enough or like just put enough passion to something, it's just gonna happen quicker. And I'm always like determined and passionate and just like get it. And I feel like when you work hard, like stuff happens. And even though I'm just 23, if I got the opportunity to do it all, maybe I was meant to do it and I can handle it.
I love that.
I know. You have you're starting at such a great position. We are in difficult times at the moment, but once we kind of get back to some type of normalcy, what's the game plan or what's your career goals?
Well, as soon as this comes back, then I'm gonna go back on MLW. I'm definitely gonna be there for quite some time. I definitely made a long-term commitment and I love it there. You'll definitely see more of me, hopefully more of my episodes. The one thing I've been working on that I would say you're the first guys to hear about it is I want to get back in the ring. I want to wrestle, and probably this year you'll see me wrestle.
Okay. Is there anybody in particular that you want to do that first match with?
I just have so many friends in the business that I feel like anybody would just be a great opportunity. I do know where I would like to have my first match. I would like to go to World Class Revolution, because when I was what would be considered green or new in this business, I reached out to them, and Jerry Bostic, the owner, gave me the opportunity without even like watching any of my matches. Like, I didn't really have any good stuff to show him, like, at all. I was just like, hey, put me on your show, please. And then he was like, all right, I'll give you a chance. And he booked me for a few months. So I want to thank him for that. And I won my first match there.
Now, as far as stereotypes are concerned, there's, with wrestling, it's getting a lot better, obviously. But there have been stereotypes as far as Latinas or minorities in general. Have you experienced any of that as far as like, we want you to do this or say this, or being an executive producer actually gives you more control to kind of not play into the stereotypes?
I feel like when I started, there was a lot of stereotype, but it wasn't because I'm Latina. It was more of like, you're a woman with no wrestling knowledge. Like that was like my biggest weakness, I would say, at the time, because I didn't know a headlock, I don't know a hammerlock, and everybody just thinks it's funny. So I feel like everybody just underestimated me, and the language barrier also. Like those things were, I would say, the most difficult. But I feel like times have evolved, and in regards to my race, I never felt like anybody was being like this discriminating towards me, or because I'm a woman, or make me feel any less. I feel like ever since I proved myself, the wrestling business has just accepted that I'm doing great things, and nobody really messes with me. Not in a bad way, just saying that.
Do you have any advice for anyone, say someone wants to get involved in the wrestling business, but say they aren't familiar with it? What's some advice that you would give someone?
Good advice would be, first thing, believe in yourself. Like, don't really listen to anybody telling you, oh, you can't be a wrestler, you can't do this, you can't do that, because literally anybody that's done anything in this business started at a point where they didn't know if they were going to make it. So the first thing is believe in yourself. The second thing is like never like quit trying. So if like, yeah, you maybe at first it's hard in wrestling, and I know it sucks because like I remember when I started, like you get paid nothing, and you have to pay your dues, and you have to do what you're told, and just suck it up and keep fighting. But if you push through it, it's so rewarding in the end. So just keep pushing.
Now, we had Casey on from MLW a while back, and she did mention a women's division possibly coming. Has there been any news as far as that, and being an official thing, or any talks as far as that?
Well, the last thing that I remember we talked about was building women's division with Zeta Zhang. Then the next thing I know was she had an injury. So it's been like one of those things where there were plans, but some things has changed. So it kind of delayed. And now with the whole situation going on, I really don't know when or what's going to happen. Certainly some things are going to have to change on the show with such a time gap.
Yeah. With everything that's going on right now, I mean, obviously COVID-19, this is what we're at. We're all, self-quarantining, all that good stuff. Well, not all that good stuff, all that stuff. What do you think the outcome of wrestling will be? Do you think it's going to change completely, or do you think it's going to go back to normal? What are your hopes, and what do you think is going to happen?
I think during this time, it's going to be very interesting, because I already saw it in Mexico. It started, which is a thought that I had, which is very funny, that then I ended up seeing it on the internet, that people are going to start wrestling outside of the ring, and it's just going to be a little more dangerous, because to be really honest, I get the adrenaline like every day, that I just want to be in the ring and performing. And just imagine all these high energy wrestlers, like they're probably not going to wait. So I think maybe we're up for a good time for quarantine wrestling. After, I think that it's just gonna go back to normal, but I feel like since everybody's being held back so much, it's gonna like be a big boom, because everybody's gonna give their 100%, because it's like a drug addict. I need wrestling. So I feel like it's gonna be good for all of us.
Now, who is your top dream matches? Give us 3 people that you want to have a match with, and or ballet.
Okay, I'll start with who I want to manage. I would love to manage Rey Mysterio. Like that would be a highlight of my career. I would love to do that. I would say to manage, he is like the one person I'm just like, once I got that, I can focus on wanting to manage somebody else, but I really want that one. And to wrestle, I want to wrestle Tessa Blanchard. She's one of my best friends, and I never got the opportunity to share the ring with her. So I've gotten the opportunity to share with her in a deeper level, but not that. So I feel like that would be a good match. I wrestled Kaden Carter right before I had my surgery, and I would love to get the opportunity to do that. I was scheduled to have a match with Melina, which I cried when they told me I was going to have it. And then she had a problem with her knee, so she only did like a run-in during my match. which was still badass, but like I really want to wrestle her. I don't think she would, but I would love to share a ring with Francine. I don't know if she's not doing any anymore, but she's like my wrestling mom. And I would say those are my top. I gave you more than you asked.
Yeah, those are all amazing choices.
Those are good ones. And then for WrestleMania that just passed, any favorite WrestleMania moment from this past WrestleMania?
The hand sticking out. I just
died. AJ, the boneyard match.
Yeah.
So good. Now, you are doing amazing things. We're definitely looking forward to kind of seeing you executive produce and then kind of be in front of the camera and behind the camera. Amazing stuff for just somebody so young. So definitely appreciate that. Where can people follow you just in case they're not?
You can follow me everywhere, Salina de la Renta. To spell Salina for you is Salina. De la Renta, like Oscar. If you don't know Oscar, DeLarenta.
If you don't know Oscar, there's a problem.
You don't got a real problem if you don't know Oscar.
Any projects or anything that we should look out for once this situation is over?
Well, I'll be at MLW. Definitely like go back and watch the show. And World Class Revolution. I'll keep promoting them. They're awesome.
Definitely. Thank you so much for coming on. We really, really appreciate it, especially in this time. I mean, you look amazing. We definitely look forward to all the writing and all the production, everything that comes.
Thank you.
But thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate your time. Have a nice day. Stay safe.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, that will do it for today. Mr. Bryant Santos, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Bryant Santos, as well as the Friday Night SmackDown After Show.
And Emily, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Emily May Heller. Catch the NXT After Show this evening, and then Total Bellas on Friday night.
Yes, and I think I'm going to be on Total Bellas this Friday. I think I did.
Oh, are you? Okay. Well, then you can catch all of us again.
Now, also, too, we didn't get a chance to touch on the news or our feelings as far as WrestleMania, as far as women are concerned. So we're going to do that on our social media. So look out for that. We're going to give a breakdown of the women's wrestling matches that we discussed last week. Other than that, we thank you guys so much for joining us. If you are following us or if you're not following us, definitely hit that subscribe button on YouTube, on any other podcast platform. Definitely like. 5 stars are better because that's all we take. Other than that, make sure you're following us on all social media platforms for Women's Wrestling Weekly at WPW Weekly. My name is TK Trinidad. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Till next time, guys. Ciao.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.